Hey guys, it's Fox here, and today I'm going to be talking about something that, as you can see in the thumbnail, is about the USFL draft. For those of you who don't know, the USFL just had their inaugural draft for their new, rebrand of the league, and it happened on February 22nd and 23rd. On February 22nd was the first day of drafting, and the way that it worked was there were 35 rounds, and each round was dedicated to a certain position or position group that you had to pick from. There were 2 rounds in the draft that both happened the first day that were exclusive to quarterbacks. You had to take a quarterback, and each team had 1 pick. The team that had the first pick in the first round of quarterbacks had the last pick in the second round of quarterbacks, and the last one in the first had the first and the second. So it was fair. It was a snake draft. And with that, I feel that one team clearly won on terms of the best quarterback room. Now, do I think they got the best quarterback? No. But quarterback room or duo? For sure. And that is, I know it's shocking, Jeff Fisher's Michigan Panthers. So let's start with this. With the first overall pick in the new USFL, the first quarterback was Shea Patterson, who was a quarterback who came from Michigan. Now, before Michigan, he was at Ole Miss, but Ole Miss and Michigan pretty much. A 2-time third-team All-Big Ten, the winner of the MVP of the All-American All-Army Bowl as a high schooler, and more importantly, a guy that has a couple school records at both schools, the most Ole Miss passing yards in a game, and then the Michigan for consecutive 300-yard games and 4 touchdown games. And then he was solid. I mean, he was a great pick. Now, do I think he was the best quarterback in the draft? Honestly, no. I think Jordan Ta'amu was a better pick, or would have been a better pick, who got selected second overall to the Bandits, and that's mainly due to the fact that Ta'amu actually played in the XFL, the one that happened last year in 2021, or 2020, my bad. And in 2020, he was a really solid quarterback there. He wasn't PJ Walker, but he was really solid. 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, 101 rating. I think he would have been a better pick. He also came from Ole Miss, and he's the one that took over pretty much for Patterson when Patterson left. But Patterson is a solid pick. Now, here's where I believe Michigan completely trumps them. Because I believe first round, the best 2 quarterbacks got picked first. I think all the other guys are kind of a meh, or blesh, or blend, close, whatever word you want to describe them. Picks 3 through 8 were pretty much really similar, but 1 and 2 were the best. The 12th round had a lot of quarterbacks who were about the same as those 3 through 8 guys, but with one notable exception, and that was, and yes, legendary draft bust, Paxton Lynch. But here's the difference, and here's what's important to know about this guy. Paxton Lynch may be an NFL draft bust and a complete just bad. But there is one thing to say about Paxton Lynch. Paxton Lynch is like Johnny Football in terms of he was a very highly touted quarterback that didn't work in the NFL. The difference is that Paxton Lynch doesn't have those same character flaws Manziel did. And at the end of the day, when you look at all the other quarterbacks in this draft, none of them are really quality quarterbacks in an NFL perspective. Almost none of these guys got drafted or are going to get drafted for the 2 that are eligible this year. And I mean, the highest guys at this point were Kyle Lauletta pretty much and Clayton Thorson, who were 5th and 7th round picks respectively. But Paxton Lynch was a 26th overall pick in 2016. I mean, he was the 26th pick in that draft. Remember, he was picked over Dak Prescott by a while. Now, has he had a career like Dak? Of course not. But it's important to know that when heading into the NFL, he was viewed as a legit NFL starting caliber franchise guy. And in the NFL, it wasn't that he was terrible, it's just he wasn't that great. When you see stats that say, in a total of 4 games started and 5 played, you have 792 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 4 picks for a 76.7 rating. That's not horrendous. That's not like Nathan Peterman throwing 5 picks in a game bad, but it's not good. It's not good for a first-round pick. It's not good for the first-round quarterback. So, yeah. But it's important to know that this is a guy that's still been in football. I mean, after leaving the Broncos For a year, he wasn't in football. Then he was in the practice squad for the Seahawks and was actually on the Steelers roster for a bit. And then he was gone for a year, and then he's with the Saskatchewan Roughriders for a year. Now, he didn't play a single game there, but he was still on the roster the whole time until he was released yesterday, by yesterday, the 22nd, the day of the draft, as he got picked by the Michigan Panthers. So, when you have Paxton Lynch and Shea Patterson, I think that they legit probably got, maybe the second and third best quarterback in this draft. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, this college quarterback is really good and just needs a shot, and I agree. A lot of quarterbacks just need their shot and they can be great. No one thought Davis Mills was going to end up being the undeniable second best rookie quarterback of the 2021 season, yet here we are. But that being said, looking at it as of now, Paxton Lynch, yeah, I get it. He's not that young. He's 28. But a lot of these guys that got picked aren't exactly that young either. A lot of these quarterbacks got picked at the age of 25 or 26. Shea Patterson's 25, and he was undrafted in 2020. So his age isn't that big a deal. If anything, it should be a really good thing because he came out of college young. So he's a lot younger than most quarterbacks or players who would be drafted in 2016 would be. So the fact that you get him gives you, at worst, a true mentor-type quarterback, which is what all these other teams didn't get. They all got these younger guys or guys who have been in the league a couple years and stuff. Kyle Lauletta and Clayton Thorson have been in the league a couple years as third string or practice squad members. And so have a couple other guys, but overall, none of them have been like Paxton Lynch, who's a starting quarterback in the NFL. He started multiple games. And then when you add Shea Patterson, who showed you at Michigan he can be a great passing quarterback. Third team all Big Ten twice. Yeah, it wasn't first or second, but you're saying you're the third best quarterback in a Power 5 conference? That's pretty solid. So I genuinely believe that the Michigan Panthers clearly got the best quarterback room in this entire league, or at least for the draft. I will say that the best quarterback to me is Taumu, solely because he had that XFL experience and was really solid there. But, hey, it's just how it is. I would go into more depth about some of these other players and positions, but I feel like a lot of them kind of overlap a bit, though I will go into more depth if I find that there's truly something necessary, and soon I will be probably doing a tier list, a power rankings video. But as of now, I just want to talk about that quarterbacks. Jeff Fisher, hey, he got to a Super Bowl before as a head coach. He had a really solid quarterback. He made Stephen McNair great. Vince Young, not so much. But I guess we'll see how he does with this group. I think he got the best quarterbacks. I think he did a great job drafting. And I guess we'll find out in a couple months whether or not he actually did get the best two quarterbacks and whether or not I'm right. This has been Zomfox. If you enjoy this content or want to be updated as soon as more news, opinion videos, or history videos are uploaded, subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified. And also remember to have a great night.